Let's go to Miami now, where Baseball Hall of Famer Jim Palmer's in the MASN broadcast booth. And Jim, when you look back at Tom Kohler retiring the first 13, that sort of set the tone early in the ballgame, it appeared, for Miami.
Well, he really did. I had a chance to watch his last game, and I looked at some tape. He's got 4 pitches. He established them all in the first inning. So again, if you establish them all, can't sit on any pitch right there. Paredes on a good running fastball, 93. The ability to pitch down in the zone with the curveball. There it is, and right there, I mean, you get Gonzalez hit a little tapper back to you, get to face the pitcher in the National League. There's a big curveball. Great play by D. Gordon. You got a no-hitter going at this time. In fact, the Orioles don't get their first hit to the 5th inning. Got a little bit tired towards the end of the game. Walked more than he struck out, but while he was pitching well through the first 6 innings, as Rick Dempsey said, they were having a lot of good bats against Miguel Gonzalez. So you always say, okay, it comes down to pitching. Obviously, if you get big hits, game gets a lot easier. They got the big hits today. The Orioles didn't, and Kohler outpitched Gonzalez.
Jimmy, you know, Kohler did pitch a pretty good game, first 5 innings, but all of a sudden the Orioles started to get people on base and put themselves in a position to come back in this game. But for the last 2 days, they have not been able to get that big hit, those clutch hits that we're used to seeing them get, you know, coming from behind. What has happened to the offense?
Well, I think if you're a home run-oriented ball club, and that's what the Orioles done over the last couple of years. I mean, they're not the same team because Cruz is playing for the Mariners. He hit 40 home runs, but they hit home runs. That's usually how they score their runs. But the one thing, as you know as well as I do, they hit with runners in scoring position. 1 for 10 last night. It was a tough loss. Not only did you lose, but it took you 13 innings to lose. So you go through your bullpen, and then today, not a lot of hits, but a lot of opportunities. And you know, you made a point when I was listening to when you and Tom came on. Lavarnway 2-0. Of course, he has not swung the bat well for the Orioles. He got a 2-0 pitch off of Kohler and popped it up. So you're in a position where one swing, you're back in the game. It just didn't happen. But at the end of the day, here, this Marlin team, they're not as bad as the team the Orioles saw coming in, where they lost 8 in a row. They continued it on Friday. I'm telling you right now, if Henderson Alvarez doesn't throw that bunt away on Friday night, the Orioles might not have won Friday. So in retrospect, you would have liked to won this series. They're now 2-4 on the road, winning series in 2015. But again, one win actually was maybe a little bit better than what could have happened to this ball club.
Jim, let's go back to the Orioles relief pitching and Chaz Rowe. What were your impressions of what you saw from him today?
Well, he threw a lot better pitches than he threw for balls, and he came in, he threw 92 to 94, had a nice little slider. He was able to do the most important things. There were runners at first and second, none of those inherited runners. So while the Orioles didn't get the big hits, he kept them close enough when they would have some times where one swing away, they could have actually gotten the lead today. They weren't able to do that. Pierce in the double play, but his job, and it's kind of impressive when you look at what Oliver Drake did yesterday in extra innings coming in. He was their closer. Chaz Rowe's numbers were glowing from AAA Norfolk. I know it's a pretty good place to pitch, but at the end of the day, his stuff was good, and it was a lot better than I saw in spring training.
Jim, we appreciate it. Have a safe trip back up 95 to Palm Beach. Watch out for those ones that are doing the slide across the lanes there on 95.
Take care.